سیشن موجود ہے اس میں ہمیں کس طریقے سے اس موجودہ جو ٹاپک ہے اس کو ہم نے کیسے دیکھنا ہے. اس وقت ذہن میں رکھیں کہ اسٹوڈنٹس میں آپ لوگوں کے ساتھ بہت ہی امپورٹنٹ جو ہے ڈسکشن کر رہا ہوں کہ اینتھروپالوجی کی جو پولیٹیکل اینتھروپالوجی ہے اس کے اوپر خاص طور پہ دھیان دیں کیونکہ آنے والے وقتوں میں سب سے زیادہ جابز اسی فیلڈ میں ہوں گی. یہ ذرا آپ لوگ بہت ہی دھیان سے غور سے میری بات آپ نے سننی. اس کی وجہ یہ ہے کہ آپ جانتے ہیں کہ ایک نئی سیناریو جو ہے وہ کریٹ ہو رہا ہے پوری دنیا میں. دنیا ایک دفعہ پھر سے دو حصوں میں بٹنے جا رہی ہے. ایک امریکن بلاک ہوگا, دوسرا چائنیز بلاک ہوگا. سو اس حوالے سے جو انٹرنیشنل ریلیشنز کا سبجیکٹ ہے, یعنی جو آپ اگلے سیمسٹر میں پڑھیں گے, اور جو اس کے ساتھ ساتھ پولیٹیکل اینتھروپالوجی کی ایک مکمل سٹریم ہے جو کہ آپ اپنے پورے بی ایس کے اندر جو ہے وہ پڑھیں گے. تو اس چیز کو ذہن میں رکھیے گا کہ آپ یہ جو امپورٹنٹ جو ڈیٹیلز ہیں اگر آپ انہیں بڑے اچھے طریقے سے اگر آپ دلچسپی پیدا کریں تو آنے والے کافی عرصے تک یعنی 20 سے 25 سال تک اس فیلڈ میں بہت زیادہ جابز جو ہیں وہ کریٹ ہوں گی. تو جو لوگ آپ لوگوں میں سے کیریئر اورینٹڈ ہیں, خاص طور پہ وہ لوگ جو کہ بہت محنت کر رہے ہیں, ان کو میں خاص طور پہ اس چیز کی طرف جو ہے وہ لے کر چلوں گا کہ وہ اس سبجیکٹ میں خاص طور پہ اپنی جو ہے انٹرسٹ جو ہے اس کو ڈیولپ کریں. سو آگے بڑھتے ہیں جناب. ہم اپنی گفتگو کا آغاز کریں گے مارکسزم اینڈ لیننزم. اوکے جی. سو مارکسزم اینڈ لیننزم. جی بیٹا. بچے آپ کو یہ معلوم ہونا چاہیے کہ آپ کے اپنے ڈپارٹمنٹ میں, اس ڈپارٹمنٹ میں آئی آر کا ایک مکمل جو ہے وہ پروگرام جو ہے یونیورسٹی نے اپروو کر دیا ہے اور وہ ہمارے ڈپارٹمنٹ سے ہی ہوگا. تو ہم جو ہے ایسی گنجائش ضرور رکھیں گے کہ وہ تمام اسٹوڈنٹس جو کہ آئی آر میں جانا چاہتے ہیں ان کے لیے یہ آسان ہو. ہمارا یہ پچھلی میٹنگ جو ہوئی ہے پچھلے ہفتے میں وائس چانسلر سے, تو اس میں ہم نے آئی آر کا جو پروگرام ہے وہ اپروو کروا لیا ہے. امید ہے کہ آپ کو یہ بات سن کے خوشی ہوئی ہوگی. اوکے جی. سو مارکسزم اینڈ لیننزم از اے فارم آف سوشلزم articulated by the Russian theorist and revolutionary leader Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov Lenin, whose revolutionary name was Lenin, born in 1870 and died in 1924. Okay, so Vladimir Lenin took certain ideas from Marx and he added some of his own ideas to create Marxism and Leninism. So Marxism-Leninism means that it is a theory which is a blend of Marxism and Leninism at the same time, often referred to as a communist ideology as well. So Lenin's life was fascinating and dangerous. He was exiled in 1895 to Siberia due to his opposition to the Russian Tsar. Tsar was the name of the Russian king. So it was a title. So whosoever came and managed the throne, he started calling himself a Tsar. So Tsar is the official name, title name of the Russian king. So Lenin was in contradiction with Russian Tsar, and he started working with the socialists in Western Europe prior to the World War I, and then he returned to Russia during World War I to assume the leadership of Bolshevik revolution. Bolshevik revolution is basically the revolution in which the monarchical system was abandoned, and later on it was something in which the agricultural laborers, they took the control of the state, and the Russian Revolution in 1917. It is also sometimes known to be the Bolshevik Revolution, and this revolution led to establishment of Soviet Union. So, as the Soviet Union's first leader, Lenin worked towards socialism as he defined it by enacting policies whereby the state assumed extensive control over industry and by creating a political framework of one party government. Okay, the next slide you can see a lovely portrait of Vladimir Lenin, the father of Russian Revolution in 1917, soon after the end of World War I. Next slide. So, Marxist-Leninist ideology basically argues that socialists should organize their struggle against capitalism by creating a vanguard party to lead the revolution against capitalism. So, the Marxist-Leninist party is to serve as the vanguard or leader of the proletariat according to Lenin. So, Lenin envisioned the vanguard party as highly structured and centralized, with each member obeying the party and the party's policies. Now, come towards Lenin's philosophy. Like Karl Marx, Lenin believed that working class movements would be susceptible to repression by the hostile governments. To survive this repression, Lenin asserted that socialists needed to be united among themselves and sufficiently organized to endure long periods of anti-socialist activity. Okay, once the revolution was successful, according to Lenin, यानी जब वो इनकलाब कामयाब हो जाए, the vanguard party would manage the society in the interest of the workers. So after the revolution, once the workers become successful in creating the right environment, and they become successful in changing the government, and they also become successful in holding the state. So then after the revolution, the whole state will collectively work for the interest of the workers. So it means the party would suppress all sorts of opposition forces, as well as they will manage the economy. Okay, the Leninist and socialism, Leninist socialism and imperialism. Socialism, in Urdu you can call it ishtarakiyat, and imperialism in Urdu you can call it samrajiyat. So Marxist-Leninist socialism, it is also associated with the theoretical concept of imperialism. Lenin's concept of imperialism is important in explaining two ways in which Lenin developed socialist theory beyond Marx's original contributions. Firstly, Lenin used the concept of imperialism to explain why older capitalist societies had survived into 1900s, despite Marx's arguments that they were beset by the internal contradictions. And number two, Lenin's theory of imperialism provided an explanation for why the prospects of socialist revolution in societies lacking capitalist traditions were so promising. Lenin defined imperialism as a stage of capitalism. It's a stage related to capitalism system. So specifically, imperialism is a stage at which the capitalists begin to export capital and use this capital to build industries abroad. In searching out a site for new industries, the capitalists, they choose a location which is more conducive to their interests, making large profits. So a location in a developing country in which cheap labor is abundant is especially attractive to all those capitalists who are intending to broaden their industrial network, not only within their country, rather outside their country as well. Okay, now the capitalists, they go into this location and they start hiring the employees from the local available labor sources, and they start making enormous, huge amount of profits. Now this profit, which is produced by the labor value of the laborers, so the profits are brought basically back to the industrialists or the capitalists' home country, where the capitalists, they spend lavishly. Okay, so refunneling of this money into the home economy spurs the economic growth and development. So the benefit of which raise the standard of living of all groups. So as living standards improve, even the proletariats of the home country, they also start enjoying a higher standard of life. So this point is very crucial. Why? Because according to Lenin, because it means that the workers in the home country to some extent become the middle class and the status quo oriented in their outlooks. So such workers lack the revolutionary zeal and they see themselves as beneficiaries of capitalism. So imperialism thus boosts the well-being of capitalists. Now workers in the foreign country, however, are suffering their low wages and they make the capitalists super rich, and Lenin argues such workers have an interest in opposing the capitalism. These workers living in the country sought out by the imperialist-minded capitalists, they possess a revolutionary potential. So logically, Lenin saw revolutionary possibilities in a developing society, a society into which capital had been invested but that had not yet developed long-standing capitalist processes in which the proletariat had become complacent as a result of comparatively high living standards.